being sucker punched before a mass brawl broke out in the middle of the fair, with it being suggested that the Persian who was initially rushed and punched being Brandon Rainwater himself. Following the supposed fight, Trap Boy Freddy would post from the fair telling Mo3 that his partner was getting beaten up. And sometime later, Freddy would post saying just how happy he was to finally punch someone with his big rings.
Oh, I finally got to hit with the mother rings. Yes, sir. Finally got to give me one. I have a 9th grade knockout. That's fun, man.
Sadly, this would be only the first of several incidents where Mo3's enemies in the streets would physically attack the man managing his music career. And unfortunately, the next occasion where fists would fly in Rainwater's direction would be much more brutal and much more closely documented. In December 2019, Dallas rap fans would be shocked when headlines hit that Mo3 had been shot in the head. He would go even further, supposedly posting footage of himself bleeding on Instagram after the alleged incident.
Hey, come on. Hey. I'm good. You shot me in my hand, grabbed my back. I'm good.
Now, it would later turn out this shooting was entirely fake. In reality, it stemmed from a music video for his song Why, with the whole shooting thing just being a publicity stunt to promote his latest project, Osama, of course named after his destructive alter ego, Osama III Laden. This project featured numerous disses leveled at his ops in Dallas, as well as that scathing diss track 219, which had only raised tensions between the warring rappers in the city months before. But unfortunately, as we saw at the Dallas State Fair, despite Mo3 claiming to be untouchable, his feuds were beginning to affect those around him. And moving into 2020 once again, Mo3's manager Brandon Rainwater would end up being on the receiving end of a beating meant for Mo3. Reports would surface that in January 2020, an altercation took place at popular nightclub V Live. Allegedly, Mo3's manager Brandon Rainwater arrived at V Live strip club, being told by security to wait outside. Eventually, he was spotted by Yella Beezy and his entourage, at which point a security guard holding a gun approached him along with Yella Beezy. Apparently realizing what was going on, Rainwater tried to run away, knowing he was about to be attacked. And eventually, the full surveillance footage showing the entire altercation would surface online. But once again, that's far too brutal to show you on YouTube. But in the video, we see Rainwater run out of the gates of the nightclub entrance into the street, being chased initially by one person thought to be Yella Beezy himself, with Beezy grabbing Rainwater's coat, pulling it off, and pulling him to the ground in the process, then beginning to punch and kick him on the floor. At this point, several members of the entourage rush into the street and join in on the brutal beating, with Rainwater trying to escape, ultimately being dragged into the middle of a busy intersection close to moving traffic. At one point, Rainwater is thrown in front of incoming SUVs, and it's honestly a miracle he wasn't run over and killed. Eventually, the group of around 5 people taking part in the beating would turn around and run back to the club, leaving a seriously injured Rainwater laying in a busy street, unable to get back to his feet as traffic speeds past him. Shortly after this, another clip would surface showing Beezy and his entourage running back to the club, with Beezy himself yelling on camera that he had beaten up Rainwater all by himself. This incident left Rainwater with a dislocated hip, and he would eventually sue Yella Beezy for $1 million in damages. And Mo3 would react to the news of the vicious assault on his manager in an Instagram live session, where he would say that his ops don't get any points for beating up a professional from the industry who isn't in a gang.
No points. No points. She gets no points. The video going around there hit the internet. In the middle of that service. You can't J no that's not like that, that's not cut like that, and ain't trying to be like that. They think, oh yeah, how we riding? No, it's so Rainwater, saying things. Because I keep saying, whatchamacallit beats up Mo3's manager. First of all, I want y'all to understand that's the only way the views, the numbers, and everything gonna go up because they got my name in the front of it. First of all, y'all taking it like a whoop me or something. Diving me, ducking me, ain't even trying to be no vicinity of me. I don't know why I'm afraid of grab, but know what's up. Anyway, listen, this ain't even about me. Fam, the video come up, I'm finna show y'all both video. You get, cause guess what, you done recorded. Rainwater, my manager, is not no street. He graduated high school and went to college, stir. You get what I'm saying? He was promoting and throwing college parties for a living. He wasn't selling drugs. He wasn't gang banging. He wasn't locking beads and CDs. He wasn't doing none of that. You get what I'm saying? Let me say that again. Rainwater, Mo3's manager, it's not no street. He's not no street. He ain't out here. He ain't out here. He pull his pants up on his, and, you know, and whoop the whoop, and you know what I'm saying? Talk like you got some sense. You know what I'm saying? He's scary. He's scary. Why is five chasing down a scary man? Huh? You don't get no points for that. Then you walk back to the car talking about, yeah, I beat him up. I beat him up. Guess what you do? They record it. He's not street at all. He be mad at me for something that I be doing. And I gotta tell him, man, God damn, come on, Scary. Fam, y'all whooped the Scary. And I ain't even whooping good. I'm disappointed. I will. If that was me and my partners, and we would count that boy looking like that, we would get him dirty. Y'all ain't doing dirty, man. Come on, man. Get up on these buses. Come on, man. Y'all stomp on him a couple times, keep them tripping. That's bad. When you tell you supposed to go in, you supposed to go to the max. Supposed to get that boy a business. Why would you and a bunch of other big ugly JM? Fam, if you like that, you could just whoop him yourself. Then I asked him. Then they talking about where he ran. He three, you see him running? I know he ran. I asked that how I caught him. I said, Ray, where you running? He said, 3. They came out of nowhere. I said, how happened? He said, I was finna walk in the club. And I had got in the car. And they came out of nowhere. He said, and a couple of them had straps. He said, you already know how I feel about all that. I said, oh, yeah, bitch, you was about it already. You gone. Yeah, I see your face right now. I see your face right now. But I was trying to figure out, why did they do you like that? Did they thought you was me? Nah, they ain't thought that. Yeah, nah, you too tired. You too slow. No, that's no different. Well, let's move through the manager. Yeah, okay, get that. Then he telling me why he running, you screaming, get it, come here, get it. Sir, he's a high school graduate, went to college, / club motor, now turned into a manager. So he doesn't have a track record, sir. He does now. The way you, and the rest of you ran down. I told him you should remain track.
After this, Yella Beezy and Trapboy Freddy would take to IG Live themselves, going back and forth about the fight in a short freestyle.
Hey, what's up, Freddy? Hey, what's up, Freddy? Yeah.
Hold on.
Freddy, Freddy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You want to I don't think you want to fight.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Freddy. Hey,
What happened? What thing?
no, bro. Yeah. Oh, loud boy. What? What's that? Where's the boy you speaking? Here, hold on, shut your. My thing. Oh, I'm just saying my yet.
And then a few days later, Mo3 would go live on Facebook once again, saying that he was blackballed by the industry and expressing frustration that if he did what Yella Beezy did, he would be in prison immediately.
Keep it real. If that was me chasing a manager down, who ain't even like this, chasing a manager down with my partners and we doing dirty, I'm going to be burned out. I'm going to be going live as soon as I get out of jail saying, y'all let me tell y'all what happened. Woo. Them facts. Every time I pop up somewhere, I'm going to jail. See, stop ignoring the fact that every time I pop up somewhere, I'm going to jail.
He would go on to say that Beezy got exposed by the surveillance footage after claiming he beat Rainwater up all by himself, when in reality, it was a group jumping.
Why did you say you beat him up by yourself? Why did you make that video? I beat him up, me. I beat him up, me, by myself. That's first evidence. Then boom, we later on get second evidence that y'all jailed. Who beat him up?
Mo3 would even react to the footage and say that Yella Beezy's girlfriend was hyping the situation up.
You got your baby moms out there, B. What she say? Hold on, I gotta run that back. That's what you do, baby. That's right, baby. That's what you do, baby. Hold on, wait. You can tell she ain't never seen jump. This She was infatuated. That's right, baby. That's what you do. Girl, you go get your big ass on and go sell a wig. Girl, you better take that off and go sell a lace front. He ain't did nothing.
Mo3 would go on to say that Yella Beezy's homies would be mad that he was claiming credit for the beating and suggesting that local Crips were disappointed when all of the footage came out.
This is how the conversation went when they left. This is how the conversation went. So she said, that's right, baby. That's what you do. Guess, go sell a wig, get your, they got right in the car. I can hear them now. Yeah, cause you see how I did that in the car. Yeah, you know it. Yeah, the one that fighting for a bump and turn, yeah. Yeah, come. Here go the other back probably like, bro, you ain't really doing that, bro. Damn, you ain't gonna say my part, what I did? Y'all gonna let him take out the crib? Then video come out, it's like, damn. I seen a lot of statuses like this. Damn, cuz, let me that. I was pretty big talking about damn, cuz, let me that.
Mo3 would then go on to suggest that this must be the first time Yella Beezy had jumped anyone because of how excited he was after the incident.
He was happy. It's your favorite time jumping somebody? Oh, God, it's your favorite time jumping somebody? That's your favorite time jumping somebody. You too happy. You too happy, bro.
Moving on from this unpleasant incident, thankfully Mo3 was able to turn his focus back to music, with his next project gaining him another taste of mainstream recognition. On Valentine's Day 2020, releasing a joint project with Boosie called Bad As Mo3, with this landing at 135 on the Billboard 200 albums charts, and spawning the hit track One of Them Days Again, with that releasing with a video in July that today sits at close to 60 million views. It's possible that remaining so close to Mo3 during the peak of their beef made Boosie a target too, but more on that later. For now, Mo3 wasn't the only one in Dallas pushing their music career forward. In May 2020, Yella Beezy and Trapboy Freddy would drop a joint track called The Rex, which racked up 16 million views. And this was from their joint mixtape released around the same time, I'm My Brother's Keeper, which also had the track You Ain't Like That, an apparent Mo3 diss casting doubt on his gangster credentials, and the track Money on Your Head that seemingly confirms Mo3's claims that his rivals have indeed put a price on his head. But not content to let the beef settle, Mo3 would return with a new song in June, once again taking aim at his rivals. His new song, I'm the Truth, featured generic lyrics hinting at having done something to his rivals, as well as making a long speech on the outro calling Trapboy Freddy a backup dancer and claiming to have pulled up on him on his birthday, as well as suggesting that he pressed Yella Beezy on numerous occasions and saying he got his chain snatched at King of Diamonds. Clearly Mo3 wasn't going to let this beef settle anytime soon, and the following month he'd be seen on social media, seemingly mocking the ops once again, this time for apparently attending a funeral, and saying that when he used to be friends with Trapboy Freddy, Freddy would tell Mo3 to leave Beezy alone.
Hello, child, stupid. He ain't like that. Ain't like what? You see if you go on funerals. Ain't like what? Shut up. You listen, bro. Everybody know y'all listen. From laughing out every time. And you got some harder than it all week. He ain't like that. Bro, the backup dancer already used to tell me when I come to the hood, I used to come to our hood. Man, leave what's what kind of law, bro. Oh, bro, you don't even like that, bro. You don't even out. I'm gonna make a song out, he ain't like that. I'm the truth. Yeah. Hey, we talking about big old stuff, the walking down train. And then let me tell you this. You got the whole mixtape, my song. I know that they don't do chicken numbers. Hey, you talking about, listen. With
Trapboy Freddy responding to Mo3 in a tirade of posts on Instagram, suggesting that people dying in the streets is nothing new, and saying that Mo3 is hiding and not enjoying himself in Dallas, and that he will be killed when he is seen in public. Freddy would suggest that Mo3 only turned up beefing him at the store for internet beef, even going as far as to say that Mo3 is going to die wearing all his diamonds. Clearly this beef was far from over, and soon another escalation would take place, with Mo3 seemed to be put in the same situation that he'd been put in Fort Worth many years before, finding himself at a nightclub once again, being forced to use firearms to defend himself. On September the 19th, 2020, V-Live in Houston, Texas, was hosting a twerk awards party when violence erupted in the early hours of the morning. The news would report that a rapper was targeted in a shooting, with some later suggesting that this was actually an attempt on Mo3's life gone wrong. ABC News reported that the rapper and his posse had shot back in a gunfight at the club, with the news stating that suspects opened fire at the rapper upon his arrival, with the rapper's entourage shooting back into a crowd.
According to Houston police, a rapper had pulled up in front of the V-Live Bar and Lounge. As he pulled up, As Detective Graff said, someone started shooting at the rapper from across the street. The rapper and his group started shooting back, according to investigators. A crowd of people in front of the gun, as well as 2 employees, were shot in the volley of bullets.
It started roughly around 3:30 a.m. From what we can gather, there was a rapper here tonight, and as he arrived here, he began taking gunfire from the unknown suspects. Fire was exchanged between the suspects and him. Both him and the suspects fled. There were 2 people that were struck by gunfire. Both are being treated at hospital.
Apparently, 2 unarmed employees of the club were hit but luckily survived, with it even being said that one of them was shot in the head and another in the neck. But it seems clear to me that nobody died in this incident. But there did appear to be more to this story than was reported on the news, because the following month, Mo3 would come out saying that Trapboy Freddy had recently lied when he posted that he was in a car accident, with Mo3 saying that Freddy really got shot in the shootout at V Live.
I cannot believe my mother. It's my I laid up in a hospital talking about you got COVID. Boy, up there talking about you broke your leg. Tell me you really got hit up. Yeah. You camping. You got hit up. Everybody know you got hit up when you went to the hospital. You telling people don't record it. Don't put it out there because you want motherfucking to see if you're untouchable. Now, it's pressure. Somebody broke your leg in a car wreck. You a goof in the hole. I bet your partner sitting up there nigga like, bro, so he gonna act like he get shot a couple weeks ago. He gonna act like hit him up and be like, stop playing. I don't know who did it, I'm just saying. Why you camping like your leg got broken in a car wreck? Play it back up down the foot.
With Freddy clapping back, saying that he only got grazed and that Mo3 should keep their beef in the streets and off the internet, even going on to suggest that Mo3's internet talk was getting people locked up, with Freddy suggesting Mo3 didn't even play a role in the shooting. And Mo3 would later go live, suggesting that he had tried to keep things quiet about the shooting too, but suggesting that people in the city had called his mother to gossip to her about the shoot.
Your son got shot, girl. What are you out there doing? You know you always doing, son. What the man out there doing now, girl? The man got shot up, girl. My mom be sure. What do you? Yeah, you don't see it, he going down, girl. They done shot him up, girl.
After everything that happened between these 2 warring groups, it's unsurprising that when they finally ran into each other, the bullets would start flying. And it's honestly a miracle that nobody was killed in this incident, but sadly, this represented the final escalation in this war. At this point, it really seemed like there would be no backing down, and that Dallas simply wasn't big enough for all of these street rappers to coexist peacefully. And so, only a few weeks after this exchange would come the final chapter in Mo3's story, as he would ultimately wind up losing his life, ironically, in the very same way that Yella Beezy nearly lost his life only a few years before. Around noon on the 11th of November 2020, Mo3 is driving on the I-35 highway in Dallas after allegedly leaving the home of a female companion. Whilst he's driving, he begins to be followed by a black Chevrolet Camaro containing 2 assassins, with the moment this ambush went down being captured on a dashcam video. The assassin's car would eventually overtake Mo3, who at some point would work out that he was being ambushed. At this point, Mo3 would swerve to the right and slam the brakes, at which point the hitters in the other car realize that this is their only opportunity to strike, in the middle of a busy freeway amongst speeding traffic. For some reason, Mo3 stopped the car, got out, walked around the back of it to the passenger door. It would appear that he was attempting to retrieve a gun from the glove box. At this point, the masked gunman hop out of the Camaro, approaching Mo3's car with an assault rifle at speed. It would appear that Mo3 simply did not have enough time to retrieve his weapon, so he changes course, instead attempting to make a run for it, sprinting south on the active highway. But unfortunately, Mo3 would not escape his shooters, ultimately being shot 9 times and being left for dead in the middle of the highway as the assassins fled in that same Camaro. And to make this incident even more shocking, Mo3's body would be left in the middle of the highway for a considerable amount of time before the authorities arrived, with numerous clips of his final moments being captured and uploaded to social media, but are far too shocking to show you on YouTube. A member of the public was seen administering CPR as civilians tried to get the scene under control, but unfortunately, efforts to save him failed, and a lifeless Mo3 would remain laid out on the highway as shocked Dallas residents passed by. Eventually, the police would arrive and take control of the scene, with news helicopters capturing footage from the air. And soon, the local news would be making full reports on this brazen, broad-day murder.
A manhunt is still underway after a deadly shooting along I-35, not far from the Dallas Zoo. Investigators said when the suspect walked up to the victim's car, the victim got out and tried to run away. The suspect shot him in broad daylight right there on the highway. A lot of people have been talking about the shooting on social media, and some of them say the victim is a well-known rapper in Dallas's hip-hop circle.
A Dallas rapper is dead today after he was shot on I-35. 28-year-old Melvin Noble, also known as MO3, was shot on I-35 northbound near the Beckley-Zane curve.
It is a stark example of the city's struggle to control violent crime. Police say the victim, a hip-hop musician named Mo3, was approached by the killer on I-35. Both men stopped their vehicles. The victim got out, took off, started running, but was shot several times on the highway. A bystander inside another vehicle was also hit.
They released these photos. The images are pretty clear, but as you see, the suspect is wearing a ski mask.
After the brutal murder of Mo3 on a busy freeway, his various enemies didn't take long to begin posting about it. Seemingly only minutes after the murder, Trapboy Freddy would post a jaw-dropping story where he appeared to be stuck in the same traffic jam caused by the murder itself.
The freeway blocked off me to get y'all together, dog. Guys, can't go to the freeway. Man, I got the freeway blocked off all the way on Pope, dog. Where y'all going? I got the young boy with me, too.
And some would go on to point out that Freddy's location in these posts were mere minutes from where Mo3's body had been laying in the road, raising suspicions that he might have had something to do with it. Freddy would apparently post tributes to several of his own dead friends immediately after Mo3's death, before going on to claim that it would be time for him to pop a bottle and celebrate what had just happened.
But pop a bottle.
But Freddy wasn't the only person active on social media following Mo3's untimely demise. Yella Beezy would go live on Instagram with the comments flooded with people suggesting that Beezy was responsible for Mo3's killing. But naturally, Beezy would play dumb to the whole thing.
God damn you. No, it's not. Come on, right? No. They don't want to say less.
And finally, we get to Go Yayo, who would also mock Mo3, responding to a post on Facebook saying they wish it was Go Yayo getting shot instead, with Go Yayo clapping back saying that he's going to live forever, #MurderGang. Beyond some coincidental posts and the obvious joy they were getting from seeing their biggest rival killed, at this point there was really nothing more to suggest that Go Yayo, Trapboy Freddy, or Yella Beezy were directly involved in this incident. But Mo3 was a beloved figure in North Dallas. Therefore, it's no surprise that reports of retaliatory incidents followed his killing, with it being suggested by some outlets that as many as 8 people had died in the wake of Mo3's assassination.
The murder in over a 40-hour period, 6 identified Dallas locations, 8 people dead. This after the DPD chief Renee Hall told an alarming increase in the city's homicide rate and described why.
Many other cities, people were in anger, some irresponsibility, and also people using guns and weapons to solve their problems.
Chief Hall confirmed today that reason of murder of Mo3 on the Dallas freeway last week set off a series of violent shootings now being investigated by the Dallas Police Department and the FBI.
How do our top 3 people pretty much have the best scores, but we lost? Guess the rest of our team was trash.
According to sources, this each of the visits on Sunday, 43-year-old Terrence Reed was killed.
Clearly, the killing of Mo3 had intense